Well, I really don't have any opening comments, so fire away. Happy to get the win.
Right over here.
Lindsay Schnell, Sports Illustrated. Larry, I think you were taking a drink of water when Brandon pulled up from about 25 feet. I was curious if you almost choked on it.
No, I'll tell you what, the last month of the season, Brandon has provided us with a little bit of that. I mean, I certainly not going to compare him to Steph Curry, but if there's one guy on our team that's got some of that deep range and has a lot of confidence and he's shooting the ball real well right now, we were a little bit slow developing at the end of that play, and it was a big three that he hit, big three that Kyle hit in front of our bench. So that was, it's big for our team. We're making 3-pointers. I think we had 10 of them for the game. And then we get a little bit of a post presence as well. And between Jakob and Kuzma, I thought they took care of the rim. We can be pretty good.
Kurt Cragthorpe, Salt Lake Tribune. Kyle, in general, what was different about you and your game tonight? And can you discuss the 3-pointer?
No, I just think this past week in practices, I made an extra focus on trying to play hard and trying to do all the little things right. And I think that was it. It's good karma. Past few games I've been, pretty nonchalant and casual, and it's rubbed off within practices and stuff. So I think that was it for me.
Tell them about our meeting.
Yeah, me and Coach had a meeting, and we just discussed what I just said. Playing hard and getting back to the basics a little bit, and trying to make we plays instead of me plays, and it just rubbed off, and it's good karma.
Back corner.
Larry, Craig Morgan with Arizona Sports and Today's You. Just what is the mood of this team right now with the kind of run you're at? What does it do to a team's psychology when you just keep finding ways to win?
Well, it's a little bit uncharted as far as the territory goes. I've always personally felt a lot better being the underdog and a little bit more of an edge. But what I'm understanding, and I think our team is understanding, that if we guard, if we defend, which we made a commitment to for a portion of the game tonight, still wasn't great. But there's a correlation when we focus on stopping the other team. And when we can out-rebound another team is important, and when we share the basketball. And those are three things that are pretty core elements of our program. And that's, I think, the validation for the style of play and I think our guys are starting to understand, man, if we do this, we get kills. Kills is 5 stops in a row. We ended that half with a couple of kills, going into the first half. And gives guys a little taste. And defense wins championships, and I don't think we think too much about where we are and what we've accomplished. I've always talked about it's the most important thing. You're only as good as your next game, especially this time of year. And I think we've got a mature group that doesn't put their guard down very often, and these guys want to taste some success, and they figured out how to do that.
Kyle Goon, Salt Lake Tribune. Larry, I was kind of wondering, last 2 games each, I think you've had 10 assists, and then tonight you have 22. What was key to that ball movement and getting a little more dynamic in that way?
Well, I mean, Colorado, Arizona are 2 really physical teams. I think that's one element of it that decreases some of the assist totals, and maybe we ended up a little more one-on-one minded against those teams. You get kind of in the end of clock. And also thinking about those teams, there were a number of shots that we missed that were open. We didn't execute. If you could look at the Colorado tape, which we did, we learned a lesson that we were really sloppy in that game offensively. Not to discredit Colorado, but it was 13-9 with 6 minutes to go in the first half. I mean, we set the game back a little bit. And we weren't really, there wasn't much of a sense of urgency for us to run our offense. And I really thought the guys got the message this week. And we made sure we knew what we were running, got the positions, screened if it called for screening, and did a nice job moving the ball. And I think, that's part of what you need to do is figure out what's broken. And some of those assist totals were due to the fact that we were kind of cutting corners a little bit, and we needed to get back to some of the basic ball movement that we
Head you down.
Back corner.
To the two players, KUTV, CBS, Salt Lake City. You guys had a 7-game winning streak to right into this. Tonight makes number 8. Just tell me about the mood in that locker room. You guys are seeming to peak at the exact right time of the season. Jakob, you first.
The mood in the locker room is obviously great right now. I feel like throughout the second half of the season, we really came together as a team. We learned how to really play together on offense. But the winning streak is kind of behind us now. We're now in the postseason, and as soon as you lose a game, you're out. It kind of carries over. You kind of get that momentum, but it really doesn't matter too much anymore because like it's a do or die situation now, and we gotta be ready for every single game. And it doesn't really matter how many games you won in the past.
Yeah, same thing he said. This is another segment to our season, and you know, the regular season's behind us, and you know, this is survive and advance right now. We're just focused on one game at a time, and you know, we're not really trying to celebrate off of this one because you know we have to play a pretty good team next game. So.
Back here.
Dana Green with ABC4. Coach, the difference between last year at this point and this year at this point, seems like you have such maturity. The team is so composed. How much of that experience of getting to the Sweet 16 you think is preparing you, has prepared you for this moment in time?
Well, I mean, I don't want to knock last year's team. I thought we were pretty darn composed as well. You know, it would be a year ago tomorrow night that Joseph Young hit the big shot. Otherwise, we're playing in a championship game, and we accomplished some things. The makeup of our team is different. I think, you know, we got 4 starters back from a year ago that played some minutes, and I think it's a little bit like playing at home. If you take that for granted and you assume that there's some kind of magic because you're playing at home, a lot of times you don't come out with the right kind of effort. And I think it's not something we often talk about. Just because you have experience doesn't mean you have success. But I do think it's a mature group. These guys understand, again, the most important thing is that the game of basketball, you win games when you guard and when you commit to really defending. And I think unlike the game of football, where you have, you know, look at the Super Bowl, you've got #1 defense against the #1 offense. Well, who wins? And it's happened, I would say 90, 80, 90% of the time. Basketball is a little bit more fluid. And I want our guys to hang their hat on the defensive mentality. You obviously don't have 11 guys that run it on the field and try to get consecutive stops. You've got to do it in a fluid up and down mindset. But we've talked about defense winning championships, and I think that's the maturity. Brandon being on the all-conference defensive team. Jordan's gotten so much better. These guys have improved as defenders. And I think we're connected collectively that way. That's probably what I'm most proud of, is how we've grown defensively, and we continue to play together.
In the back, please.
Hans Olsen, 1280. How much differently did they play you, Jakob? They cut the point totals in half from when you played them in the regular season. And then, Coach, how much did you game plan for how they would come out and play against Jakob after what he did to them in the regular season offensively?
Well, we didn't know exactly. We knew that there wasn't going to be the same. You know, it wasn't going to be the same look. And there's been a number of different ways that teams have double-teamed him. Off the feeder, when he dribbles it from the other big. Tonight they had an interesting little plan to come from the baseline guy and double-team. So we didn't know what to expect. One thing that we've done, as I mentioned earlier, in the last couple games, we've thrown the ball to Jakob and everybody kind of stands and watches. And so we've tried to build what we call bailouts. So at the end of a possession, it's not just wishing him luck down there, but it's putting yourself in a position as Kuz did, getting to the rim, and then our perimeter players are locked and loaded and ready to shoot it. And he didn't have to carry us tonight. I think we got, you know, as witnessed by assist totals and ball movement. That's the thing about our team. I don't think there's any secret that we want to start with establishing the post. But if it becomes too difficult, obviously somebody else is open, and tonight I think that's where we were able to take advantage of that.
We'll go right here and then one more over here.
You got something to say, yeah?
Sure. Pretty much what Coach just said. They really...
He says it with an accent. Where's the chopper? Head to the chopper.
They played me really aggressively tonight. They tried to front a little bit in the post. They came to double team. And as soon as I saw that double team coming, I just tried to find the open man. I wasn't trying to force up any shots, and whenever the opportunity presented itself, I was trying to go up strong, and that was pretty much it.
Right here.
First of all, Coach, love the impression. Second of all, Jakob, heading into the next round of the tournament, you're arguably the best big man left. What do you expect from the next round and the rest of the tournament ahead?
Well, first we got to wait who we're going to play tomorrow. It's going to be tough. We knew it was going to be tough right from the start of the tournament. This year the league's so balanced. And whoever we're going to play, it's definitely going to be a physical matchup. And you got to grind through it. It's three games in a row, hopefully, if you go all the way. And that's kind of the mentality that we have to get into. You gotta grind through it and go into every single game with 100% effort, and hopefully you're gonna come out as a winner.
Final question right here.
Yeah, obviously Jakob, Player of the Year, and Brandon and Jordan as all honorable mentions. What do you think it says that, you know, your starters who didn't get Pac-12 honors and Kyle and Lorenzo played so well today and were shooting so well?
Well, I mean, first, extremely proud of the guys that received the awards. You know, that's not anything that can be, this isn't the time of year necessarily to be singing anybody's praises. As we know, the game is very much a team game, and we've talked about it amongst our team all year, that, you know, not everybody's going to be clicking. And we've had some ebb and flow throughout the course of the year. We didn't shoot the ball. I mean, I don't know where we would have been the first half of the season without Jordan Loveridge shooting threes, because nobody else could make one. But he shot almost 50%. And then Jordan took a couple weeks off, and that's when Brandon and Dakari and some other people picked up. Jakob, for the most part, has been pretty steady. Kuz has been, and it's normal maybe for a sophomore finding his way, but I think he's gotten back to basics. And we said it all along. We dodged some bullets early in the preseason where we only had a couple guys playing well at one time. And I've always said if you can get 3 or 4 guys stepping up, the essence of a team, moving the basketball, I think that's the key, you know, and I really like the way we pass it and share it, and I think our guys are willing. We've talked a lot about the we, not me mentality, and that's a cornerstone of our basketball program, and I think this is kind of the result of that guys aren't afraid to move the ball on and trust teammates to make plays.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Okay.
Jakob.